In the bustling city of Very, a father and son, Mr. David and Brayane, live together in a beautiful house. Mr. David, a 60-year-old successful businessman, had built his empire from scratch with his late wife. They had worked hard to create a prosperous life for their family. Mr. David wanted his son, Brayane, 27 years, to marry a woman who shared the same values and qualities as his mother: hardworking, selfless, and a good planner. He believed that such a woman would be a great partner for his son and a wonderful addition of their family. Mr. David told Bryan that any woman he wants to marry must pass some test to provide she is worthy of their family. Bryan understood his father's concern and agreed to the test. At the time, Bryan was dating Nora, a beautiful and charming girl who seemed humble and kind. However, unknown to Bryan, Nora and had an ulterior motive. She was only after his wealth and wanted to use him to get rich quickly. One day, Bryan introduced Nora to his father, and she impressed him with her respectful behavior and sweet talk. Mr. David asked Bryan to go to the mall to get some groceries, leaving Nora alone with him. While Bryan was away, Mr. David offered Nora a bundle of cash and asked her to date him instead of Bryan, promising her more money and luxurious life. Nora, tempted by the offer, agreed, not knowing it was a trap set by Mr. David to test her true intentions. When Bryan returned from the mall, Nora acted nicely toward him and he took her home, unaware of the plan she had made with his father. After dropping her off, Bryan returned back to his father's house, where Mr. David told him about the encounter with Nora and her agreement to meet him at the hotel. Bryan trusted his father's judgment but hoped Nora would prove him wrong. That evening, Nora went to the hotel where Mr. David was waiting for her as planned. Bryan was hiding in the restroom, waiting to catch her in the act. When Nora arrived, Mr. David asked her to join him in bed and she willingly agreed. Bryan came out of the restroom and confronted her, asked if it was all about money. Nora tried to explain herself, but Bryan was angry and heartbroken. He realized that she had been using him all along and didn't truly care for him. He left the hotel room and Nora chased after him, trying to explain, but Bryan would not listen to her excuses. Mr. David test revealed Nora's true intentions, and Bryan was grateful to his father for protecting him from a gold digger. He realized that true love required mutual respect, trust, and genuine interest, not just martial wealth. Mr. David's wisdom and experience had helped him avoid a potential disaster. Following the ordeal with Nora, Bryan was left feeling heartbroken but also wiser. He came to understand that his father's conventional methods were essential in finding a truly genuine partner. Bryan realized that his father's tests were not meant to be hurtful, but rather to protect him from potential heartache and ensure his future happiness. With a newfound appreciation for his father's wisdom, Bryan was determined to move forward and find a partner who would love and support him for who he was. He was grateful for the lessons he learned from the experience with Nora and was ready to apply them to his future relationship. Bryan's father, seeing the growth and maturity in his son, was proud of the young man he was becoming and was confident that he would find a worthy partner. Bryan was browsing a dating website when he came across a beautiful girl named Sophia. They started chatting online and quickly hit it off. Before long, Sophia traveled from Lagos to meet Bryan in Very. When she arrived, Bryan introduced her his father to his father, Mr. David, who welcomed her with a warm smile. Sophia seemed like a really nice person. So Mr. David gave her 3 days to settle in and feel at home. After the 3 days, he decided to put her to the test just like he had done with other girl Brayane had brought home in the past. The next day, Brayane left for work, leaving Sophia alone with his father, Mr. David. Mr. David took the opportunity to chat with Sophia and presented her with a bundle of cash, asking her to date him instead of his son. He claimed that his son was not wealthy, but he was. However, Sophia rejected the offer, stating that while money was important, it was not more important than the love she had for Brayane. She excused herself, leaving Mr. David impressed but still somewhat doubtful. When Brayane returned from work, his father shared the encounter with him, revealing that Sophia had passed the first test. Mr. David mentioned that he would give her another test to ensure her intentions were genuine. Brayane was also impressed that Sophia had passed the first test and hoped she would continue to pass more. Then Brayane left his dad's presence and spent time with Sophia in his room. Sophia didn't mention the incident with his father as she didn't want to cause any tension between the father and son. One day when Mr. David was away at hospital appointment and Brayane was at work, Sophia took advantage of the situation. Before Mr. David returned from work, Sophia cleared out all the money in his room and Bryane's room, stealing their clothes and many other properties. Sophia stole all the money and properties she could find and left the house. The gateman stopped her and asked where she is going to, but she lied and said Brayane had asked her to take these things to his office. The gateman believed her and let her go. When Mr. David came home, the gateman told him that Sophia had taken a lot of bags, saying she was taking them to Bryane's office. Mr. David thought nothing of it, but when he went to his room, he saw that everything was messy and his money was gone. Mr. David called Brayane and asked if he had made a mess in his room. Brayane said no. Then Mr. David asked if Sophia was with him at the office. Brayane replied that she was not with him and that he had never taken her to their office. So Mr. David told Brayane to come home right away. When Brayane arrived, he saw that everything is a mess. He checked his room and saw that his money, gold, chains, shoes, and clothes were all gone. He tried to call Sophia, but her phone was turned off. The problem was that Brayane had only met Sophia online and didn't know where she lived.